Flash flood concerns on the increase over the next few days. We'll talk heavy rains in a moment.
A man is in jail in southern Kentucky accused of impersonating a police officer. The strange story he was going door to door telling that caused one woman to call police ahead.
And 2 people are behind bars in Boyle County charged with criminal abuse of a child after police found their family living in a shed in what they call unfit conditions.
This is WKYT News at 4.
Welcome to WKYT News at 4. Amber Philpott and Andrea Walker reporting rounds of showers and storms continuing to ramp up across our area.
Here is a live look at downtown Lexington. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey for an update.
Yeah, these thunderstorms that are out there right now are rather scattered in nature, but again, packing a lot of lightning and a lot of heavy rain. Similar setup to where we've been over the past few days. Now, the setup over the next few days will increase the heavy rain threat area-wide. Flash flood watch is out through Thursday night into Friday morning for much of central and eastern Kentucky. Just about the entire WKYT viewing area included in that. A couple of counties to our north should be in that. Scott County, Harrison, Franklin County, we should be included in that flash flood watch. I would expect you may have your counties thrown in there as well before all is said and done. We look at what's going on now in your Defender radar network, and thunderstorms are blowing up and packing a punch here into parts of southern sections of the Lexington Metro. Lancaster, Garrett County, heading over toward Richmond. Skies are beginning now to darken quickly, so folks around the Kirksville area up toward Richmond Center, back into Lancaster, that is where we're going to be dealing with the worst part of this storm as it crosses now out of Garrett County into Madison County. Folks living out by Lake Reba, down Interstate 75 toward Berea, batten down the hatches. That's a potent little thunderstorm that is rolling on through. General lighter rains across the Lexington Metro with the occasional clap of thunder. A little thunder shower popping again not too far away from Cave Run Lake, Bath Rowan County line. Flash flood concern into southeastern Pike County with those storms that are working on out of town. Similar to yesterday, southern Kentucky, not seeing a whole lot of action as of right now, but that is going to change as we go into later tonight and tomorrow. Look at that thunderstorm complex lifting to the north out of Tennessee into southern parts of Kentucky. Now, the short-term future radar does show a little increase in those showers and thunderstorms across the area, but it's not what you're seeing now that has me concerned. When I come back in a few minutes, I'm going to break down the flash flood threat for the next few days.
Chris, thank you. A southern Kentucky man is facing charges for pretending to be a peace officer.
Police in Laurel County say James Lorman was caught knocking on doors claiming to be looking for a woman who needed a drug test. WKYT's Phil Pendleton tells us what the man is accused of doing. It's our top story at 4.
Well, this all began late Monday night. It ended early Tuesday morning when the 46-year-old man was taken to jail after an incident on Glenview Road near East Bernstadt. Now, a woman called 911 saying the man had been knocking on doors claiming to be a U.S. Marshal. He said another neighbor needed a drug test and said something about the electricity being out. Now, deputies showed up. The man didn't have any identification, saying that he was, in fact, a U.S. Marshal. He was arrested, and while being taken back to London, police say he pretended something else was going on.
He acted like he was having chest pains, and so we had EMS meet us here at the sheriff's office. We had them triage him. There was nothing wrong with him. He wouldn't get out of the police cruiser at that point. We had to physically remove him from the police cruiser.
The suspect has been identified as 46-year-old James Lorman of Laurel County. He was charged with impersonating a police officer, disorderly conduct, menacing, and resisting arrest. In Laurel County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
We were able to get a copy of the 911 call from concerned residents, and you're going to hear that call at 5:30.
2 people are in jail accused of allowing 3 children to live in what investigators call unfit conditions. 44-year-old Gregory Wilkerson and 25-year-old Brandy Harmon are charged with 3 counts of criminal abuse. The Boyle County Sheriff's Office says they were living in a shed behind Wilkerson's sister's home with no electricity or running water. Deputies tell us the children had to be treated for bed bugs and extreme rashes. We are working on a number of other stories for you, starting on WKYT at 4:30.
Sam Dick joins us now from the newsroom with a look at some of the news in progress. Hello, Sam.
Good afternoon. Thieves damaged a Lexington park. Police say that someone stole 20 fountain heads and damaged 7 others at Thoroughbred Park. The crime happened sometime between 10 Sunday morning and 9 Monday morning. Each fountainhead costs $130 to replace, a price people living in Lexington would rather not pay.
It's going to cost the taxpayers more to get them put back on, and since I'm a taxpayer here in town, I'd rather have my taxes go for other things, education, roads, than have to come out and fix a public park.
Police say they have no suspects right now. We'll have more on the theft ahead on WKYT News at 5 o'clock. As we first told you yesterday, state police have identified a body that was found over the weekend in the Green River. Troopers say the victim is 22-year-old Kristen Edwards of Barron County. Someone fishing in the river in Hart County found her body dismembered and in a container. Investigators say Edwards was murdered, but they are not releasing any more details. You will hear from friends of Edwards ahead on WKYT News at 4:30. It's a way to thank first responders for serving the community. Today, Gold Star Chili in Pulaski County is holding First Responder Appreciation Day. All first responders can stop by and get a free meal until 9 tonight. We'll have more on the Appreciation Day ahead on WKYT News at 5:30. That's a look at some of the news in progress. Andrea and Amber, back to you.
Sam, thank you. Now some stories making headlines across the nation at 4. The man who tried to assassinate President Ronald Reagan will continue to live under a number of restrictions when he leaves a Washington mental hospital next month. A judge today ruled that John Hinckley Jr. can live outside the hospital, but he will have to attend individual and group therapy sessions and is barred from talking to the media. He can drive, but there are restrictions on how far he can travel. The Secret Service will also periodically follow him. He'll also be banned from trying to contact surviving victims and their families, along with actress Jodie Foster, who he says he was trying to impress when he shot the president. Baltimore prosecutors are dropping charges against the 3 remaining officers facing trial in connection with Freddie Gray's death.
Gray died after sustaining a neck injury while in police custody in April of 2015. 3 of the 6 officers charged in the case had already been acquitted. Diane Gallagher reports.
In a stunning move,
I have decided not to proceed.
All charges against the remaining officers indicted for the death of Freddie Gray dropped Wednesday, ending the case without conviction. Baltimore State Attorney Marilyn Mosby explained her decision in a fiery condemnation of the investigation.
There was a reluctance and an obvious bias that was consistently exemplified not by the entire Baltimore Police Department, but by individuals within the Baltimore Police Department at every stage of the investigation.
The Baltimore Fraternal Order of Police,
justice has been done,
rejected Mosby's comments.
The comments made today about our officers by Ms. Mosby were outrageous and uncalled for and simply not true.
Freddie Gray, whose death from neck injuries sustained while in police custody last April, triggered protests across Baltimore and became a symbol of the growing divide and mistrust between police and African Americans across the country. Of the 6 officers charged, 3 had already been acquitted.
We could try this case 100 times and cases just like it, and we would still end up with the same result.
Gray's stepfather, while disappointed, says he understands the decision.
They did their best to their ability. We stand behind Marilyn and her prosecuting team. Yes, we did. And my family's proud to have them represent us.
In Washington, I'm Diane Gallagher.
In other news, just days before the start of the Summer Games in Rio, the Olympic Organizing Committee admits only about half of the buildings at the Athletes' Village have passed safety tests. An emergency task force of 360 electricians, plumbers, and masons are said to be working around the clock to get things up and running. 2 days ago, the Australian delegation of athletes refused to move into the facility, citing blocked toilets, leaky pipes, and exposed wires. Officials say they expect everything to be ready by tomorrow.
Retail sales are up. We'll tell you the reason for the spike in WKYT Money Watch.
And Tesla is opening a new factory to expand battery production. We'll give you a peek inside coming up.
Keep up with the latest news on WKYT.com. Join the conversation on Twitter and become a part of the WKYT Facebook family.
Retail sales are looking up according to the National Retail Federation that begins today's Money Watch.
The group raised this year's forecast from 3.1% to 3.4%, citing growing online sales. The group also says the improving housing market, job growth, and higher wages are encouraging people to spend. New homes are selling faster than they have in the past 8 years. The Commerce Department says new home sales rose 3.5% in June. Analysts say a solid job market and low mortgage rates are pushing sales.
For the first time ever, the airline JetBlue is considering flights to Europe. The airline's low-cost model threatens to disrupt the pricey transatlantic market. A spokesperson for the company says JetBlue likes going into markets with high fares and stimulating them with lower prices. JetBlue currently flies across the U.S., the Caribbean, and Latin America. Automaker Tesla is constructing a $5 billion factory in Nevada, but it's not for building cars.
The plant will make the batteries that power electric cars. John Blackstone got a look inside.
In heat and dust, huge machinery and around 1,000 workers are racing to build the factory that Tesla says will be by far the biggest maker of lithium-ion batteries in the world, and a huge gamble for Tesla CEO Elon Musk.
Really excited about what's happening.
Tesla needs the factory to meet demand for its mass market Model 3. The company has 373,000 pre-orders for the $35,000 electric car. This plant up and working, that's what the Model 3 depends on.
Absolutely. The success of the Model 3 is really dependent on the success of the Gigafactory here. Tesla needs the battery packs to come out of here on a huge scale and at a really cheap cost in order to make the Model 3 work.
What's here now is just the beginning of a factory that Tesla says will have the largest footprint of any building in the world. When this is completed, it'll cover an area equivalent to 107 NFL football fields. Inside the one section of the factory that is now complete, robots and workers have already begun assembling battery packs, but not yet for cars, only for power storage units Tesla is making for commercial and home use. But the question for Tesla now is whether the company can build the Model 3 fast enough.
Is there anything that could go wrong that really makes you nervous?
Nothing could possibly go wrong.
John Blackstone, CBS News, Sparks, Nevada.
When completed, the factory is projected to employ more than 6,000 workers. The company believes eventually as many as 10,000 could work there.
21-year-old Central Kentucky beautiful young lady starting her own business. We'll have more on Trifecta Equestrian Massage when we return here on WKYT.
Showers and thunderstorms amping up right now. We're talking about a flash flood potential that is on the increase. We'll break down the rainfall numbers in a moment.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey.
Talked about it for a while now. Flash flood threat continues to increase across central and eastern Kentucky, and a newly issued flash flood watch is out for a lot of real estate. And that may be expanded a little farther into Franklin, Scott, Harrison counties. Wouldn't surprise me if that is the case. So everybody in the green, you're under this flash flood watch through Friday morning. That'll kick into effect later tonight and go through the day tomorrow. But again, really anywhere, if you're watching us right now, you have the chance for flash flooding over the next couple of days. Have a chance this evening on a local scale. Defender Radar Network picking up on these clusters of thunderstorms now. A little broken line extending from Richmond back to the southwest toward parts of Hardin County just to the north of Campbellsville. Let's get you caught up on this thunderstorm that is racing into the Richmond area. It's moving out of Garrett County. So Lancaster, Worth is off to our east, right on top of the Paint Lick area, Kirksville, and now heading into downtown Richmond. So here's Richmond, campus of EKU, where it's a little calm and quiet compared to a few weeks from now. Madison Central High School gearing up for another football season coming up here shortly with thunderstorms that are moving on into town over the next little bit. Let's go up 75, head into Lexington, shall we? See what's going on. A little bit of light rain, had some distant rumbles of thunder. A lot of that, those off to our east and very isolated in nature. Southeastern Kentucky, thunderstorms trying to pop there from Paintsville back over to West Liberty, and some big-time storms now on the Virginia border counties. Into southern Kentucky, noticing one little lightning strike coming from the cell southeast of Williamsburg into Whitley County. But hey, southern Kentucky, from Williamsburg back over to Monticello, look at these storms that are lifting down to the north out of Tennessee. Severe thunderstorm warning is out for a couple of those cells. Tomorrow, heavy rain. We may not get to 80 degrees for a high temperature. Waves of showers and thunderstorms will come our way heavy rainfall is a very good bet. Setup features that same front that is draped across the area now. Throw an area of low pressure into the mix. Get a big surge of moisture coming out of the Gulf of Mexico. Boy, that's a recipe to get in on some hefty rainfall totals over the next few days. So the flash flood threat through Friday, I've made a map here showing the highest risk area that is literally across our entire viewing area, central and eastern Kentucky, as we go through tomorrow and into the day on Friday. Potential for flash flooding will increase, and that bodes well, or matches up well, I should say, with one of the computer models that is spitting out between now and Friday night, Saturday morning, 2, 3, 4 inches of rain into parts of central and eastern Kentucky. At some point tomorrow, there's going to be this big cluster of thunderstorms that moves from around Nashville into central and eastern Kentucky. Then another one tries to follow that up, and that would be the one that can produce some flash flooding. Set it for a while. I don't like this setup the next couple of days. I see this and I just get a little antsy knowing that the skies can just open up on any one location tomorrow. Here's that complex of thunderstorms that races through the area, and another one tries to follow that up as we go into later tomorrow evening. So we got to keep a very close eye on the creeks and streams over the next couple of days. This will be a WKYT first alert severe weather day into Thursday and likely into Friday as well. Thunderstorm or two will hang tough into the upcoming weekend. Let's look quickly at the roads and see what is going on across the fine city of Lexington and surrounding areas. Right now, no delays due to collisions or accidents. That is certainly welcome news. Those drive times, a lot of green showing up, everything in good shape, at least for now.
It's a place that caters to you and your horse. Yes, your horse.
Deanne Stevens is out and about today with more on a new business in town. Hi, Deanne.
Hey, good afternoon, guys. We are here at Three Crowns Farm, where something very cool is happening. We have met this young lady, Miss Logan Gregory, who has started this fabulous equine massage business. When I saw this, I went, what in the world is equine horse massage? I get it, but your love of horses is what brought you here, right, Logan?
Yeah, I've ridden horses my entire life. I just started doing massage about a year ago, so the business is brand new. We officially opened up about a week ago. We focus on sport horse massage and rehab massage. It's really cool. It's an up-and-coming business. There's not a lot of people out there that do it, so it's tons of fun for me. I get to work with horses every day, which is great.
Well, that's something that you've always wanted to do, you said. How long have you been in love with horses?
Since I was little, very, very little. I was basically born on a horse.
How old are you, young lady?
I'm 21.
I was going to say, you're still little to a lot of us. This is very exciting for a 21-year-old starting their own business.
Oh, yeah, it's wonderful. I've been really excited about it for the past couple of years. I fell in love with massage and with muscle therapy when I was in college, and now that I'm out, I finally get the opportunity to kind of branch out on my own, which is great.
So is there a special school to learn, and this is a serious question, about muscles of the horse?
Yes, there is. Not only do they teach it in average college, you can go to any college and learn about equine anatomy. There's also private massage schools, there's private instruction. There's also universities that just focus in equine rehab on muscles. So it's really cool. It's a really big deal.
So you've gone to school for this and you've decided to open up your own business, and I'm guessing Kentucky is the perfect place to do that.
Yes, it's perfect. I'm based out of Lexington, so I am about 5 minutes from just about every major horse farm in the area, and I travel. So the best part about it is I come to you. You don't have to bring your horse to me. So it makes it a lot easier on everybody that owns horses who want some therapy done.
Okay, so equine massage, how does it work? What all does she do? Coming up at 4:50, Miss Logan is actually going to lay hands on the horse, show us how to do that. And how can folks get more info, Logan?
It's really simple. I have a website. It's trifectaequestrianmassage.com. You can get on there, and we have an email linked. You can ask us questions. Phone numbers on there as well. You can call and ask questions at any time.
I think this beautiful young 21-year-old is inspiring some up-and-coming entrepreneurs out there. I love what you're doing. We're going to have more horse massage when we come up here at 4:50. I'm Deanne Stevens, out and about. Back to you guys.
Another risk factor for diabetes 2 that may surprise you. That's ahead in Better Living. And more strong evidence that you need to get up and move.
Friday's Mega Millions jackpot is $20 million, and tonight's Powerball jackpot is now $422 million.
Now it's time for Better Living, health, education, and consumer news that impacts your life. We all know that sitting too much is bad for you. Now, new research from Sweden says it can be deadly. The 45-year study followed nearly 800 men and linked low physical activity to a high risk of death, second only to smoking. Another international study finds exercise alone can cut down on the number of obese women who develop diabetes during pregnancy. Researchers tracked nearly 100 obese expectant moms and found exercise lowered blood pressure and the risk of diabetes. And the age a woman goes through menopause can increase her chances of diabetes. That's according to a new study of nearly 125,000 women. It shows that women who start menopause before age 45 or after 55 are at increased risk of developing type 2 diabetes. Now let's head to Chris for another check of the weather.
Yeah, the storms out there right now are dumping some heavy rains. I don't think it's anything compared to what we're going to be seeing tomorrow. Flash flood watch is out for much of central and eastern Kentucky starting late tonight through tomorrow and into Friday morning. What we are picking up on now on your Defender radar network, some scattered thunderstorms that are again putting down a lot of rain, but this time it's a little more localized. Tomorrow, we're likely to see this big cluster of thunderstorms coming out of the Nashville area into much of central and eastern Kentucky. That's the one got to really watch out for.
But at least it will be cooler.
We're going to really knock the temperatures down. We may not hit 80 tomorrow.
Thank you. I love it. The news is just now getting started. Here's Sam, Dick, and Amber Philpott with what we're working on at 4:30.